Making it comfortably there, Stoke by the skin of their teeth. The story of favourites taking a bit of a knock as we move on to the second group, looking for another brace as we rejoin Dave Lanning.
A really tough old semi-final in the second event here at Peterborough then, with Middlesbrough, leaders of the National League, very strong at the top end. Peterborough, the home side. Poole, who have international class heat leaders, and Arena Essex, the underdogs, but with two informed riders who were successful in the Grand Slam individual event here yesterday. Let's look across the lineup on heat number 1. On the inside, Mark Fiora from Middlesbrough, an Australian signed for £10,000 from Edinburgh during the winter. A real tough, gritty campaigner. Grid 2 has Dave Allen, again a much travelled performer, back with Peterborough, and he's in Grid 2. Grid 3 has Kevin Smith, former England international, with Poole on the outside. Neil Middleditch, former British junior champion, spearheading Arena Essex. Here we go for heat 1 of what should be a memorable semi-final. Off into the first corner, and who will show? It is Middleditch who gets away from Arena Essex in second place. It is Kevin Smith in third place. It is Mark Fiora, and at the back it is Dave Allen. But a terrific start from Neil Middleditch, who finished third in the individual Grand Slam here on this track yesterday, and it's really tightening up there behind him as Fiora comes bursting inside Smith. Middleditch in front, Smith, and now coming back into second place. In third place it is Fiora, and the action thick and fast here in heat 1. Middleditch and Smith were teammates together at Poole, and we have Dave Allen who's gone down, or it may well be Fiora who's gone down in front of us here in our commentary position. Well, let's see what happens to Mark Fiora. You can see Middleditch and Smith here battling for the lead in heat 1. Spectacular style from Neil Middleditch out in front, and we'll look for Mark Fiora. He's in red in third place here, and as he goes through our picture, just keep an eye on the rider in third place. He goes out, hits the fence with a terrible crack to the back wheel, and well, sustained some back trouble there, and that really was a heavy pile-up. The bike going on riderless, but Fiora really took a wallop there. Well, that collision with the fence certainly didn't just leave Mark Fiora in a sorry state of repair. A big hole there you can see being repaired by the track staff, and that really is evidence of the force which young Fiora hit the fence. We do so hope there's no more than superficial damage done though. Heat 1 of the second semi-final without Mark Fiora, sadly taken away in the ambulance with back injuries, so 3 only. Dave Allen in grid 2. In white is Kevin Smith on the outside. Neil Middleditch, who was leading when the race was stopped for Arena Essex. Here we go for the second time I'm asking, and again, who will it be, who shows? And this time it is Allen who gets away, going hard after him. It is Smith, and Smith going around the outside of Dave Allen. So it's Poole in front, and the homester pushing hard out, moving into the lead. And this is a lucky break for Peterborough, because they were well back when the race was stopped, and now Allen showing his home track advantage. So still Dave Allen leading, showing that he knows his own way around this track, and Kevin Smith hard after him. And Smith, there was a hole there, and they are beginning to drift out. Middleditch, who rightly feel aggrieved, he was leading when the race was stopped through no fault of his own, and Allen swinging right out wide and coming into the last lap now, with Dave Allen doing a good job, and the Peterborough fans lifting their voices towards him. Second place still Smith, third is Middleditch, and Smith trying the last despairing effort around the outside, and Allen moving across the cover and leaving a hole, and Smith might just dive through it, but Allen holds on. Super Speedway, a win for Allen. Second place was Smith, third was Middleditch. So that's an encouraging start for the home side, because Allen was way back when the race was stopped first time, and it's a fortuitous break. So a large crowd here at Alwalton Showgrounds, enjoying as always the fare served up in this National Fours final. It rarely lets us down. Always some interesting action, always some close calls, and some good speedway. Well, coming in, replacing Mark Fiora, who was carted off after a collision with a fence. The word is he's just winded and bruised. He wants to ride, but the doctor has said no. It gives us the opportunity to see for the first time in this area one of the most exciting young prospects in World Speedway. Gary Havelock, 16, still at school, gets away for away meetings on a youth opportunity experience job training scheme. And he has been little short of a sensation. He may just take his time to weigh things up, but he is an accomplished youngster and reckoned to be one of the brightest finds in recent years. Gary, son of a former National League campaigner of considerable experience, Brian Havelock. It's going to be interesting to watch him because he really is an exciting lad. Let's look across the lineup for Heat 5 with Peterborough now leading on 7 points, Middlesbrough and Arena Essex on 6, Poole on 5. The inside in blue, it's Kevin Hawkins for the Panthers. Next to him in yellow and black, the in-form rider, very spectacular, Martin Goodwin, who won the individual side of this speed festival here at Peterborough, the Grand Slam. Martin Goodwin in grid 2 for Arena Essex in yellow. He really is a goer, this lad. Gary Havelock in red in 3, grid 3, and on the outside, Stan Bear, an overseas finalist, a really entrancing heat here in heat number 5, and away they go. And who will it be to show is on the inside, Hawkins, and Goodwin trying the outside line around him, and has he got the legs? And he gets pushed straight into the fence there. And well, it's going to be interesting to see what the referee makes of that, because it seemed that Goodwin was around the outside and hit the fence there, and the yellow light is on, and that's a controversial one because Goodwin, the individual winner, going around the outside. Goodwin's on his feet. Let's watch it again and watch for Martin Goodwin, because it's Hawkins on the inside of him here. Now Goodwin is clearly in the lead here. Hawkins comes around the inside, clever piece of curb riding. Now what happens here? You can see Hawkins moves him over, and as they go down the straight, he isn't the one to shut off, and he gets put into the fence and loses control of the machine, and that's a critical moment for Arena Essex. And Martin Goodwin sliding along there unhurt, but he's going to be out of the restart. Well, the drama's beginning to unfold here because Arena Essex clearly upset by that decision. You can see Martin Goodwin on the track, the pit phone to referee David Hughes. He's been excluded. It looked, well, pretty harsh old decision. There is the referee David Hughes, and he didn't have the view that we had, but Goodwin was left with nowhere to go, and really did well to avoid a much more serious accident.
Martin, give us your version of that incident.
Well, I made the start, and I was going around the first turn in front, and I drifted a bit wide, and Kevin come up the inside. But as he come up the inside and just got his front wheel in front, he just moved across to the fence and just cut my nose off, point blank range. And there was just no need to do it. He could have left me a little bit of room just to be on the safe side, and so the accident wasn't caused. But no, he just straight across me and put me straight into the fence. There's just nowhere I could go.
So you're pretty upset, obviously, that you've been excluded.
Well, I'm upset for myself and my team, I mean, it could have cost us the chance of getting through to the final.
Thanks.
And we pick up the action at the restart with 3 riders only, and it's Hawkins who clearly has upset the Arena Essex side and coming hard around the outside. It is Gary Havelock for Middlesbrough, and the young man who we thought might impress us is in the lead. In second place is Hawkins, in third place is Stan Bear, and Bear for Poole will attack now Hawkins. But Havelock, what a little match winner this boy could turn out to be for Middlesbrough. Hawkins, who surely does know his way around Peterborough, going hard after Havelock, and Havelock, well, it must be said, Havelock left him a lot more room than he left Goodwin, and he's going hard in the inside of the young man now, and Havelock will not be moved over, and that's brave cornering by the young man. Really is a super piece of speedway, and Havelock is not to be put back, and he is really riding right out of his skin. He is taking apart the home number 1, and that is a really sensational ride from Gary Havelock, who almost overcooks the last corner but wins it. Hawkins is second, third place is Stan Bear from Poole, right out of contention. And little wonder the Middlesbrough contingent are on their feet. Their young man has really delivered the goods to them. He was under intense pressure, but he gave not an inch, and that really underlines and emphasises this lad's potential. He really is a little discovery. Well, here's the hot action again as Kevin Hawkins, giving nothing away, moves under in the most intimidating fashion under Gary Havelock. You can see he's got the drop of him here, tries to move him over, and there's not much to choose between. Look at that, almost touching there at 60 mile an hour going sideways, and Havelock simply refuses to be budged, and that really is riding of the most courageous calibre. So just 2 to go. Nothing's been settled yet in this second semi-final. It's beginning to look good for Middlesbrough and Peterborough, though. Poole are still breathing down their necks on 9 points, and Arena Essex, who, it has to be said, have not had the best of fortune, on 6 points, might still steal it if they can produce the goods in these last 2 races. And we look across the line on the inside, David Trasher, little Australian with Arena Essex.